she's our colleague at USA Today who's been tracking the unequal impact of the coronavirus on communities of color. Deborah, thanks so much for being with us. My first question is, first, how is it affecting minority groups? You had a story come out this week and last week.
Right. Actually, it was a story a couple of weeks ago where we talked to a lot of experts about what kind of impact this might have on people of color. And much of them talked about, while every population is vulnerable, of course, what's particular about people of color is they're disproportionately impacted by some underlying health conditions, asthma, diabetes, heart disease, all those things that make them particularly vulnerable to the complications of coronavirus. So it's been a really tough situation.
Yeah, there's new data coming out right now. We saw some stories out of the South and Chicago. Can you talk about what people are hearing early impacts are?
Sure. Some of the stories, actually, we're working on the stories going to be published later today or early tomorrow, about while people have warned or have been concerned about the impact, now we're seeing where it's kind of playing out in some places. For example, Louisiana, they released some stats that showed that 70% of the people who died from corona-related virus are African Americans. And that's in a state where the population is 32% African Americans. So it shows there an example. Some of the major cities that are hardest hit by it, New York, Louisiana, Detroit, are cities that have a significant Black population. So while there were concerns about it and alarms raised about it, it's kind of showing up in some of the places that are actually releasing data. Keeping in mind that a lot of places still aren't or haven't released data.
Yeah, that brings, I want to bring up our colleague Ashley. She was talking for a minute about how are we tracking the virus according to ethnic identity, and it seems to vary from community to community.
Yeah, from what I understand, there aren't a lot of states that have been releasing that. In New Jersey, they just started giving that data yesterday, and it's still pretty broad. I think we got Black, white, other, and Asian. So we don't know the Hispanic breakdown, and we only knew 50% of the cases. And these were deaths, so we don't even know the cases at this point. So it looks like we're just kind of starting to get a snippet of that, at least where I cover the coronavirus news. So it'll be interesting to see if more states start disclosing that data.
Deborah, you were saying, oh, sorry, go ahead. I was just going to toss to you. Go ahead.
I was going to follow up with that is that there is a call now, and there's been a call before. Representative Robin Kelly of Illinois, for example, she's chairwoman of the Brain Trust for the Congressional Black Caucus. She and others, some members of Congress, have written letters to CPC and the HHS secretary. And even more recently, as of today, the NAACP and other groups have also raised the alarm, calling for all these groups, for the federal health officials to release data. But they're also calling for states individually to do it because they're talking about how important it is to have that data so they know how to respond. So health officials, state officials know how to respond and where to direct resources.
And it just sounds like that's happening at a really slow pace, if it's happening at all.
Right.
I want to ask you, Deborah, your story talked also about how minority workers are being impacted by this in particular. Can you speak to that?
Sure. In many of the service industry jobs, they're disproportionately filled by people of color. And that includes some of the people who are going to work now. That would be the bus drivers, the people in transportation, the home health care folks. So those folks are vulnerable. Well, one, they're people of color in those health conditions, but they're also vulnerable because they're exposed or could be exposed. If they are exposed, then sometimes they're exposing their families. So there's a lot of ways where people, community are impacted both economically, both by the health disparities that already exist in our country. And so that's why a lot of these groups, civil rights groups, advocates, community groups, are raising alarm to please pay attention to these communities who are already marginalized in many ways and who are particularly vulnerable.
It sounds incredibly scary. So I'm going to ask one question that might have some good news to it, but I want to say, what's being done to support at-risk communities?
One of the things these groups calling for all this attention, or we're trying to bring attention to the needs of this community, calling for the racial data. Some groups have long before the coronavirus have been stepping up to try to address disparities, especially healthcare disparities, particularly faith leaders. Churches. I did a story a year ago about all these religious leaders having this big conference in a church to talk about how they can do things in their church, whether it be stop serving fried chicken on Sundays, or whether it be to turn the parking lot into a track so that folks could walk around. So groups have been stepping up along the way to do this anyway. I think now the sense of urgency is obviously right in your face, because the virus is affecting every community, and particularly the poor and the minority communities.
Addiction is a disease. The more you know, the more supportive and compassionate neighbor, friend, family member,
Hoosier you can be. Go to knowthefactsindiana.org to learn more.
Yo, Jael, what's good, God, bro? Yeah, I was just looking over that story on Yahoo News or whatever, about the Native American tribes that's pretty much, waiting for funding and all this other stuff. I didn't get a chance to read through it yet, but I really don't understand it, you know. I just think from what it looks like to me in general, it's like at some point in time in the beginning of these tribal federal contracts, somebody got hit with the okey doke. When I look at stuff like this in relation to the Native American tribes and the federally recognized tribes, is that all I could think of is the Pilgrims and Christopher Columbus. Because how is it that the Native Americans own the casinos? They have their own, tribal governments and reservations and et cetera, et cetera. But when a life crisis happens, they're still dependent on the United States government. I'm not understanding that. So there's some type of issue in the beginning before this stuff even happened. Somebody didn't take care of their business in the beginning. This is that shouldn't even be a reality. The United States had adopted the tribal government, the aspects of government from the damn tribal governments. So why is it now, 2020, majority of the tribal governments are illiterate, lost in time, lost in space, still dependent? So you telling me the whole time everybody was just chilling, comfortable? Yo, Jerome, yeah, sign up. The HellraiserLegacy.world. There you go. It's at the bottom of the screen. The HellraiserLegacy.world. So I just don't understand this. I just be thinking like, what the fuck did y'all sign up for? And I actually know what they signed up for, because I've looked at the so-called applications, plural, the multitude of applications that's involved with becoming a federally recognized tribe, and that shit do not look good. I immediately exited out of that shit because it contradicts the whole purpose. Once again, you just sat at the table, got presented with some offers. You got made some promises. You were asked for something, for major aspects of control. You was asked to waive many rights in exchange from some type of U.S. government or U.S. governmental privileges or civil rights instead of your human rights. Yeah, those contracts and applications, when I looked at that shit, all I could think was like, damn, like now this is a situation where all the contracts, you would think like, damn, I wonder what type of contracts are behind the contracts that we sign on a day-to-day basis, or the biggest contracts that hold us contractually, liable and subject to the jurisdiction of the United States, like your birth certificate, your social security number, your driver's license, and any other forms of licenses and permits and stuff like that. All we could do is assume and guess, because but on the bright side, that gives us more room and leverage to pretty much weed our way out of those contracts, because the full terms and conditions of the contract was never fully revealed or disclosed. Now, on the flip side, when it relates to the Native Americans or the tribal applications and contracts between the tribal governments and the United States government, all of these applications have to be have to be addressed, acknowledged, and signed before a tribe can even become federally recognized. So that means that these tribes have signed, like literally signed every application that you could think of, what was given, every application, every contract up front. And somebody had to sit up there, go through every application, and they signed on every dotted line and waived every rights that's involved with each of those applications in return for some type of privilege or right. Like the applications, if I printed all these applications out, be like this damn tall. Now, it's one thing for us not to know the shit that we consent to, because of a fraud, because a motherfucker get you to sign a piece of paper that's tied to a million. It's another thing if a motherfucker gives you all the shit, all the contracts up front. You sit there and sign off on that shit. Because we outside looking in, off top, what are some of the privileges of the Native American tribes? What? Free schooling, or damn near free schooling, free shelter, or damn near free shelter as long as they're on a reservation. But the funny thing about it is, if you think about it, you have to ask yourself, like, damn, where the fuck do they stay at? You know what I'm saying? Like, where are these? It's like you don't really. It's like they not only live it's one thing to live in a certain area, because you still navigate, across the land or whatever. You could stay here, but you still bumping up to the average regular people on a day-to-day basis, going to stores, going here, going out for leisure activities. But how often do you bump into the Native Americans, as far as tribally? Like, how often do you bump into them outside of Quickie Mart? Like, how many times do you just be like, how often do you see like a straight up, straight from the reservation Native American? You don't. Outside of 7-Eleven and a Quickie Mart. So that means that they not only live in separation from us, you know, well they live completely in separation from us, not just this is where I lay my head type shit. They're in complete separation from home and shelter, school, entertainment, everything. And why is that? Because that must be part of the contract, right? Because if we got a chance to really bump heads and shake hands and to communicate and to network with this particular network that's separate from the rest of the communities, because they're the only ones that's like separate. It's like you could be black, white, Mexican, Puerto Rican, whatever. You still gonna be amongst the other ethnicities and stuff, other groups or whatever like that, whether you're poor, rich, or whatever. But these are the groups that you hardly ever see like that. Like especially, you damn sure not gonna see a bunch of them in one spot. You gotta see one or two here and there. And like I say, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be when you go to your local quickie mart. So when I think about stuff, obvious facts like that nobody can deny, was like that cannot possibly be by accident. That can't possibly be by accident. That has to be, and that has to be part of the contract. That would have to be part of the contract and agreement. Like, look here, we're gonna make sure y'all good. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can hold down the casinos. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can hold down. Y'all got the reservations. Y'all got we're gonna have free shelter, free schooling. You know what I'm saying? The best of education, the best of this, the best of that, and the resources. But y'all just got to make sure y'all stay the fuck away from them, because if y'all don't stay away from them, what's gonna happen? We start network communicate, getting closer. We'll start to learn the type of resources and shit that they have, and what we don't have. Because friends share things with each other. You know what I'm saying? So they don't want us becoming friends with their ass at all. They want to keep them as far away from us as possible. Think about that. They can't have you meet motherfuckers that get free shelter, free schooling, and we paying $20,000 to $40,000 a year for education and all this other shit. But your boy next to you, your Native American buddy, he telling you like, oh no, my friend, I pay $1,000 this year just for the taxes. You know what I'm saying? Like wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? No, so we can't. They can't afford us to have that type of dialogue. With our Native American brothers and sisters like that. They got to keep us completely separated. Because want to know why? Because people are gonna spread the word. We that's when we realize that something is wrong and something ain't right. Because it's they're like, damn, how the fuck? Because technically speaking, we'll remember that shit. We just as much as Native American as they are. Just to be honest, shit, wasn't you born on the landmass of America? So that means you native to America. You're Native American. So you find out somebody gets X amount, all type of perks and benefits and shit like that, living off the land, and you sitting here busting your ass working at the dollar store, paying thousands of dollars for schooling and housing, going through all this financial aid bullshit, signing up for bogus ass contracts with Sally Mae that you're gonna be paying for the rest of your goddamn life, you'll be kind of pissed off. But all good things got to come to an end. When shit sounds too sweet, it usually is. You know what I'm saying? Shit sound too sweet, it usually is. So now when you in a life and death situation on a crisis, it's like, oh, now Master gonna show his cards. Now you're gonna realize y'all wasn't as free as y'all thought y'all was, or y'all wasn't as privileged as y'all thought y'all was. You know, y'all did take the front end of the stick. Y'all got the front end of the stick. So now at this point, everybody that thought they was free, thought they was independent, is now suffering from a rude wake up call and reality check. Now I bet they're realizing like something's wrong, or something's definitely wrong, something's not right. Yeah, somebody signed the wrong shit. That's what's wrong. Somebody that signed the wrong shit. Ain't no fucking way in the hell y'all got all these resources. Y'all got the fucking y'all supposedly quote unquote had the casinos and have all this shit. Y'all spend less money and get access to resources that make all this money, but yet the half the world shut down economically for 30 days. Y'all fucked up. How Sway? How if it's yours? This is your shit. How you show? Y'all at least got some millions plus millions in reserve. Y'all still your own government. You don't need. It should never been a situation where one like needs the other. So how is it the United States always the motherfucker that's feed niggas? The world stopped. We gotta wait. We gotta apply for this and apply for this to get this to survive. Somebody ain't taking care of their business. And it should be to the point where everybody need to realize asking and requesting, especially by way of application, for any sort of benefit or privilege from the United States needs to be the last thing on the list. That needs to be the last resort. Shit, casinos are damn sure not small businesses. You own a casino, you virtually got you got a fucking cash machine. Casinos are cash machines. It ain't costing that much to fucking sustain a goddamn casino. Once everything has been built, what the electricity and playing cards, it don't cost that goddamn much. You know what I'm saying? Considering how much money is coming in that motherfucker every day. You'll have one motherfucker coming there drunk as hell, coming in there at 9 p.m., not leaving out till fucking 9 a.m. because he gambled his whole fucking life and he been trying to get it back. So you done got about 50 stacks out of his ass because it was in the wrong room. That nigga covered half the bills tonight. So something ain't right. Now I don't know exactly what it is, but I can guarantee it's somewhere within that goddamn contract or them contracts. These motherfuckers are requesting every aspect of everything them tribal governments are doing, from banking, from shelter, from religion, from anything you can think of. Them motherfuckers had to sign off on that shit. So now you just went from being a native to the man, I mean to the land, original, indigenous, aboriginal, to the land that these foreigners are claiming and running, and you contract yourself out that status, out that standing. You sign all that shit over to them. You signed your whole that the contracts that the tribal governments had to sign over with the United States government are the fucking slave papers for their whole fucking nation. You just contracted. See, it's one thing to be in a situation like on some Christopher Columbus or the Pilgrim shit. The motherfucker just come over here and strong arm some shit. You know, you get outmanned or whatever. You know, lack of manpower, lack of firepower. Cool. At least y'all niggas went down fighting. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing. But we fast forward to the future, and you do this, and you do the same thing that you was fighting for. You was fighting to keep the land. Now you contractually give away your position to the land. And not only you, the motherfuckers that's signing the paperwork is contracting everybody into motherfucking slavemanship. But don't nobody know the shit as long as everything all good. As long as everything all good, don't nobody know the shit. Now everything all fucked up. It's like, oh, what the fuck? Now you're trying to fix the problem, but the problem is you don't know what the problem is. You think the problem is the problem that everybody's talking about. It's the pandemic. It's the corona. You think that's the problem. So now you using all your resources and manpower to help the challenges related to the current situation. That's the after effect. We got to go back 100 years when you signed that shit over. When you sign these contracts. You want to fix a fucking problem, you gotta start from the root of the problem. So let's start from the beginning, but you can't fix the problem if you can't acknowledge what the problem is, or identify what the problem is, and accept what the problem is. Shit, they'd be better off taking every fucking contract and ripping that shit up, resending all that shit, and starting from scratch. They'd be better off starting from scratch. Then got so damn comfortable, they didn't stop educating each other. They didn't let some of the main old heads that had some of the foundational pieces get so comfortable with being in the past, with living in the past. They're not educating them for the future. And these are still the people that they coming to for suggestions and for direction. All this shit is a big conflict of interest. And don't nobody know what the fucking problem is. That's what's crazy to me. Don't nobody know what the problem is. Everybody confused. And this shit is not rocket science. This is going down to basic common sense. And I ain't even dug deep in this shit yet. But the closer I get to this shit, you know, and talking to affiliates of this shit, I just be looking like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like, I really be like, y'all really don't know what the fuck y'all doing, do y'all? And y'all been doing this shit forever. Don't make no sense, man. Everybody settling and selling themselves for privileges and convenience. We falling suckers. We selling each other out for privileges and convenience. But it was all good just a week ago. It was all good just a week ago. Now it's reality. Now what? What's up now? What's up now? Sometimes reality is a beautiful thing. Yeah. Let's see things for what they are. I can't get mad at that. Let's see everything for what it is. I want to see. Look, I want to see shit. I want to know what the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no sugar coat. Don't give me no icing. Don't give me none of that shit. Show me your exact true colors. Then we can address it like that. That's how you can better and properly position yourself, amongst others. You was never supposed to contract with your rivals like that. Even if you had to come to a common ground, you don't fucking contract with the fucking rivals. They can't. How you submit to the motherfuckers that was involved with the whole division and conquering from the beginning? Anyway, and you feel safe with that, and not only that, y'all personally feel safe with that individually, and you feel safe to make that decision on the behalf of all the people. Man, our people got to get our act together, man, and we got to turn on the fucking lights, man. The lights meaning our fucking brain. At this point, we got way too many people, way too many groups, way too many motherfuckers marching, talking, preaching, and all this other shit. But everybody making the same mistakes over and over again. Still going, moving in the wrong direction for answers. Still going to the man and the men and the groups that enslave you for the answers. Or asking validation from the motherfuckers that destroyed your whole fucking nation. That separated your power from the nation. You asking them for validation. Is this good? This okay? Is this right? Will you accept this, master? You know what I'm saying? Man, I don't know what the fuck our problem is, man. It's like we've been subconsciously programmed to just do what the fuck we see. That's it. We had too many people that have enough power, and when I say power, meaning either the platforms, the voices, and the people, and or enough people within certain groups that are related to the people. Well, we can start translating and transferring the correct information and developing the correct solutions. But the biggest problem is don't nobody know what the fucking problem is. And we can never figure out what the problem is because everybody keep on repeating the same shit all over again. Everybody a coronavirus expert now. So we get caught up into that. What so-and-so said about this, what so-and-so said about that. But don't want to admit the fact is, it don't matter what so-and-so says at this point. It don't matter what nobody has to say about what's going on right here and right now to a certain degree. Because if we talk, look, it's already happening. What's done is done and gonna be done. So we trying to figure out the source of it, where it comes from, who this, who that. I mean, that's cool, but we gotta limit out the time that we put into that because that's distracting us from the areas of focus and the energy we need to be putting in on resetting our positions in relation to all the bullshit. So that when the smoke clears, we in proper standing. It's no point in talking about no problems that we can't solve. Some problems, some things we can't change. That's what we gotta understand for one. We gotta acknowledge the shit that we can't change for one. Acknowledge it, identify if it's something we can do, let's do it. If it's to the point to a degree where it's gotten to the point where there's nothing that we have the power to do at this point. Now, all we need to be doing is focus on the things that we can do. Instead of talking about the topic of the matter of some shit that we can't fix, we can't change. These people, we didn't let these motherfuckers get this far. Don't start talking shit now. We didn't let them get this far. This look, the shit that's happening now has been fucking planned and prepped and been in development and growing for over a decade. And that's minimal. Shit was already written, being done, but we ignored all these different signs and all these different areas of bullshit. And now we're trying to address the after effect as if that's even possible. You can't, you're done now. You're done. We sat back and let the shit get to this point. Cause we keep putting the wrong motherfuckers in power and keep addressing the wrong fucking issues. Or in general, things that are not the issue to begin with. So if you behind schedule, I'm talking about just to be nice. On the nice side, we're at least a decade behind addressing the actual issues and the cause and the root cause of the issue. We need to just shut the fuck up talking about that shit. Understand that part of the war we lost. We lost that one. So let's start from here now. You know what I'm saying? From here on out, let's keep the thinking caps on. I don't give a fuck who the fuck says some shit about this shit now. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if Jay-Z say some shit about this shit. I don't give a fuck who the fuck. Ain't nothing you can do about this shit at this point. But stay the fuck out the way. This way we fall back, regroup, and re-strategize. We lost this one. Just try not to get caught in the smoke. The objective is to survive. And just to be clear, can't nobody be an expert in relation to no topic, in relation to anything that he or she did not create or design. There are no gurus and experts in this shit in relation to a system that they did not design. They did not develop. They wasn't at the board. They wasn't here. They wasn't there. Their forefathers weren't there. So we don't know shit about shit. I don't care how fucking smart a motherfucker might sound giving you their breakdown on the shit. A motherfucker don't know shit. And the shit a motherfucker's finding out right now is the shit that they want you to know. Ain't nobody finding shit on the internet that they don't want you to fucking know. Let's get that shit understood. This shit is open and available for teenagers, kids, and grandmas and granddaddies. My grandma bringing me back the same information y'all sending me. Now, if it's to that point that you know something's wrong. Don't nobody know shit about shit. Let's stop. That's half our fucking problem now. Everybody think they got it. You don't fucking got it. If it's to the point where it's all over the fucking internet, it's over with. You're done. You're lost. They got us. Don't nobody know shit. Now, do we need to address some shit and talk about it on a generalized basis? Yeah. But to keep on and now no, we're not finna keep on talking about the same shit over and over again. We got other shit to do. While everybody's scrambling, to be on the safe side, the best type of tactic and strategy to have, especially in the middle of in chaos, is to, for one, avoid it as much as you can. And then for two, to redirect your attention in the opposite direction. You better believe they want everybody's mind to be prioritized on a pandemic and a coronavirus. And they're going to use whoever they can to help promote that shit. And to help validate that shit. Like you got motherfuckers like DJ Khaled. This my guy, man. I love him to death. Will Smith. I've seen way too many celebrities, man. First off, let me tell you this. Let me tell y'all this. I don't give a fuck what's going on. I'm not nowhere near no famous or celebrity. I'm not rich. None of that shit. But, nigga, I got a personal barber. My resources tight enough that all my shit is on a regular schedule program still. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so when I see niggas like these $1 million motherfuckers, these $1 billion motherfuckers doing videos and shit online, like they've been quarantined in the house for weeks with the beards and shit, like they don't have personal barbers, B. All these motherfuckers got personal stylists, B. They're not going. Puffy is not going to the nearest barber shop, waiting in line for a line and then a haircut. Let's stop the shit. So when I see shit like that, I look at these niggas like agents. Like y'all been sitting. So you ain't went nowhere all week. So you didn't go nowhere all week. I went somewhere, but you didn't go nowhere. The fuck out of here. Niggas play too much, man. People play too goddamn much. Like they don't have access and the resource to keep your face cleaned up. I'm mad I didn't make it to my barber today. But tomorrow I'm gonna be back fresh dug. I haven't went a week without getting trimmed up. So how the fuck is the goddamn DJ Khaled and Will Smith walking around looking like they hurting around this motherfucker? Man, stop it. Nigga, man, please stop it. So we see all the celebrities in the act. We see these it gotta be real. It gotta be real. Do you see the psychology behind that shit? And they doing regular shit on their phones and shit. Quarantine this, quarantine that. So you mean to tell me you worth all these millions? Some of these niggas, maybe even, not a lot of them, but all these millions, and y'all top priority, what y'all doing in y'all free time is streaming online, playing video games and shit. Y'all are not a active part on creating some type of solution and safety net. Like fuck the people for your family. Like you not addressing no real issues right now. You don't have a serious look on your face. It's still fun and games. Yeah, I know it's fun and games because you're a part of the motherfucking game. Of course it's fun and games. Because you're a part of the motherfucking game. Because that's what you get paid for. That your insurance, that's what your insurance policy covers. You present yourself the way we need you to present yourself during certain circumstances, certain times. You ain't got to worry about not getting that next roll, nigga. You ain't got to worry about getting that next check. We're going to make sure everything is intact. Fucking sellout motherfuckers, man. Motherfuckers. Sellouts. Sellouts. If a person was ignorant to many facts and shit like that, now it's to the point where it's like motherfuckers should be waking the fuck up. Everybody should be waking up right now. Especially the motherfuckers that got the money to do something and the resources to do something, but they not gonna use their resources like that. Why? Because that's a liability to them, which at least they think. They're not gonna utilize their money and their power and influence in any direction that can really captivate the people to the point where we pull out our minds and our resources together. We develop realistic strategies to protect ourselves and to bring ourselves into power, to unify the people and stuff like that. They're not going to do that because they're trying to solidify the position and the comfortability that they have based on the contract that they're involved in that puts them in the spotlight that they're in. So they can't afford that. But what they will do and what they can do is to educate you and to help you and help promote social distancing. Wear your mask, wash your hands. They'll tell you that though. But you ain't got no other answers, B. No other solutions. Wash your hands, wear your mask. If there was some shit out there that goddamn deadly and contagious, a motherfucker would not be able to go nowhere. It would be no escaping the shit. The shit would be virtually airborne. Air blows everywhere. There's no getting away from it. If you see, man, people got to understand the art of war and the art of fear. If you project something to somebody so long and for so many times, even if it's a fucking lie, your ass will begin to believe the shit. It'll become real. You can inherit a disease by how you think and how you process information. You could turn something that's not actually real into an actual reality. Manipulation of the mind has always been the key. Always been the key and the biggest form of control and defense from day one. And that's outside all the, the military and, manpower and everything else. Manipulation of you still can't contain millions upon millions and billions of people without manipulation of the mind, control of the mind. Ain't enough guns in the world can hold the world full of people back without manipulation of the mind. Got people all scared and shit. Can't even go to church. That's what everybody usually run to. You can't even run to church to your pastor? Oh shit. Shit must be real. This shit gotta be real. Manipulation of the mind is the key. But yeah, man. Just tuning in real quick. Propaganda. Yeah. Tell these goddamn celebrities stop playing games, man. Now you got some. Now don't get me wrong. We got two different types of celebrities. You got motherfuckers that's famous, but don't really have true resources and power because they still live check to check. I ain't talking about the motherfuckers that's at home crying and shit, because they shows got canceled and they got all this goddamn debt that's due. Since they could have never thought a dream that it was going to be a goddamn coronavirus this summer or this spring, or this year. You know, motherfuckers live check this thing like I'm finna get 10,000 tomorrow. I'm finna get 20,000 tomorrow. I'm finna get 100,000 tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So shit, motherfuckers sat their ass down. They gotta sit in the crib and shows get canceled and all this other shit. Yeah, oh no, they quarantining for real. So you got the low budget. You got the you know the what do you call it, the low budget ass celebrities and shit. What's going on with them is they got a harsh glimpse of reality on what it feels like to be regular. Cause you know when motherfuckers first get them couple checks, they think they on top of the motherfucking world. So the motherfuckers feel real regular right now. So the ones y'all see on the internet that's like acting out and shit, you know what I'm saying, looking all crazy. They money fucked up. You know most of them, like especially rap artists, most rappers don't know shit about the music business. Most rappers are in some type of retarded ass fucked up contract. You know what I'm saying? So only money they was getting was by show on a show by show basis type shit like that. But record sales and this and that and publishing and copyrights and whatever fucking you did connect to whatever. No, they wasn't getting. They motherfuckers ain't eating off that shit. They eat off appearances and shit like that. In which that shit still got to be divided amongst their management label, team and expenses. So the shit, like I say, see motherfuckers see a bunch of money at one time, but that shit got to get divided. So motherfucker cut your shit off. You talking about 30 days going into 60 days, and you've been living this rock star lifestyle day by day. You turn up, your drugs, your this and that. It's like that shit cut off. You can still feel like a nigga that's working check to check, getting $500 every 2 weeks. You'll begin to feel just like him in that big ass crib. You know what I'm saying? You cannot wait till you can go back to work. So that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing. Because them motherfuckers thought they was on top of the world. How many motherfuckers you been seeing put up the money phone now? Let's see the money phone now. All you balling ass niggas. Let's see the money phone. Where the money phone at, B? Where the money phone? Fuck out of here. Ain't nothing worse than some rich broke niggas. It's like you're in a position to see the money, but you don't know how to fucking hold it and use it because you're a retarded ass nigga that got in the situation. Uneducated ass motherfuckers. The hell? But yeah, I'm finna get up off here though. Just want to speak on that for a second.